Welcome back to the, today we're on the Spa Baits social. Up to now, it's been absolutely horrific torrential rain and just disgusting weather. We have some thunder and lightning as well. Well, as you can see now, the thunder and lightning is relentless, absolutely hammering it down, which wasn't good whatsoever. So unfortunately, it's like 6:30 now, and this is the first time I'm sort of getting out to talk to you guys, which is a shame, but it is what it is, I suppose. I've tried to find some spots. We're on peg 16, which is the very point, and I've tried to find some spots. I found a few, but the fish seem to be quite close in. I found one at 15 wraps, one at 18 wraps or 19 wraps, I can't remember now, it's in my phone. But unfortunately, nothing's come of them yet, but we have only been out a couple of hours. But like I said, there's a lot of fish showing close in, so yeah, I am hoping that we can sort of get something, maybe early morning through the night. I'm going to put a bit of bait out and just sit on it. I'll talk you through the bait and stuff like that. Obviously we are on the Spa Bait social, so their link will be down in the description. All the boys here today, well, not all of them, but a lot of the members are here today, or a good amount. And yeah, one has come out so far, beautiful 22-pound common. If I remember, I'll put that in over there now. But yeah, it was a very nice fish, and that's come within about 4 hours of us being here. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but we are at Horcott, one of my favourite places that I've never caught. I've been here twice. This is my third visit now, and hopefully it will produce something, because we're here for 48 hours. I think we're having a social tomorrow. Whether I'll take the camera over and record, I don't know, but we are going to have a gathering in the car park and see and just have a bit of a moment and a bit of a couple of hours just to relax and sort of have a chat and whatever, and then back to the fishing. But like I said, I'm on peg 16, which is the point, which is quite a popular peg, and I've got some big boots to fill, because I believe Tom Maker has just left this peg a few hours ago before I turned up, so that is some very big boots to fill. That will be quite hollow, I believe, as I'm never going to sort of produce what he's produced. But yeah, so that's just a sort of update. I'll probably catch up with you before I hit the sack, and then we'll go at it tomorrow as a fresh day, because like I said, I really am well, the amount of rain that we've had, my bivvy is struggling a little bit. My ground sheet's very wet, everything's a bit very wet, so yeah, hopefully you can enjoy some B-roll. I might catch you later. If not, then I will catch you in the morning, and we'll get some more footage and hopefully have a fish on the bank, because if we do catch one, it's going to be mint. So yeah, I will see you when I do. So we're going to get a couple of spoms out. We've got 2 at 7.5 wraps for tonight, and the rest, and the other one is currently just a single that's chucked onto a shower, and hopefully it'll produce something, but I'm not 100% sure it will. But let's get a couple of spoms out onto these for the night, and hopefully they produce. So it's just a case of a few spoms over the top of each rod. The 2 7.5s are quite close together, to be fair, so it really doesn't take much of a flick. Everything is absolutely drenched, by the way, but it literally doesn't take much of a flick to get us to where we need to be. We'll do this 4 times maybe on each rod. They're not massive spoms, they're like a middle-sized spom, and hopefully that'll be enough for the night. We've got plenty more bait, and we'll be able to put some more out in the morning. Well, so far, nothing yet. I'll put a couple of pictures now again up in this top corner of some of the captures the lads have had. I know Lee's had a 35, which is absolutely mint. Only 2 people have caught, but there's been 5 fish out, so they're doing well. They're sort of over the other side, but I think they're fishing relatively far out, so I'm going to have another lead about today and see what I can find. Obviously we've got the whole of today and most of tomorrow as well, so there's definitely time for more, and hopefully more people will catch as well. I think they are munching well. I think you just need to be on them, and unfortunately a lot of us aren't at the moment, but I don't think it'll take too long for us to get on them. It's supposed to be an absolutely cracking day today as well, 19 degrees, bright sun, so they might even be on the zigs maybe, or on the surface, but we'll wait and see for that. But yeah, I'm going to get a brew on, and it's quite early, but I say it's quite early at 7, it's not really that early anymore, but yeah, I'm gonna get the lead rod out and just have a lead about a bit further out, see if I can find anything better, or any more spots that are maybe closer to the middle. I think they've been quite pressured recently, and perhaps they're not in close anymore, where they've been so pressured. I think they might just be out in the middle, but we'll have to wait and see. I'll give it a lead around and maybe put a bit of bait on a spot and perhaps just drop on it tonight or something, but I'll keep you updated with that. And later on I will show you my bait and rigs, because last video I did say I'd show my bait and rigs and completely forgot, which is a bit annoying, but yeah, we'll get that done, and fingers crossed we can get something and everyone else can get something as well. But it's not an easy lake, so I'm not holding out hope for everyone getting something, but it'd be nice for me to catch my first Horcott carp as well. But like I said, I'll put some pictures in as we're rolling this. But Lee and Phil, I do believe, have both caught, so well done to them, congrats. Definitely using spar baits as well, so if you want to check out spar baits, in the description below, go and check that out. And yeah, so I'll probably update you shortly once I've had a brew and got myself together, because I'm still feeling a little bit dozy. And yeah, I'm going to look for a new spot and see if we can get on them. Well, just a quick update on the session so far. I've managed to lose one miles out. I literally picked it up, a couple of bumps, or bump, and then it's gone. So it wasn't a mega fight. I don't know what it was. I don't know how big it was. I brought in a bit of weed, so I think I sort of grated upon some weed, and that was about it really, which is a bit unfortunate, to be honest, but it's part of the game, I suppose. I've currently got 2 rods in. They'll both be going on solid bags. I've been fishing solid bags for most of the morning now, because unfortunately I broke my spod rod. I thought it was, well, I was fishing to 19 wraps and I forgot that I had it clipped up at 7.5. So as you can imagine, I hit the clip and it bust off, which isn't great, but oh well, that's, you know, you live and you learn. I'll have to get a new rod and reel now. Well, not a rod, but I'm going to get a rod anyway, because it could do with upgrading, so I suppose it's a good excuse. But yeah, I will be borrowing one later to put the rest of my bait on the spots, to make sure they're nice and topped up and whatever. But yeah, it's really warm at the moment, so I'm fishing solid bags, not only because I've broke my spod rod, but to just keep it moving. I think the fish are going to be cruising. It's like 18, 19, 20 degrees with a lot of sun as well. So I imagine they're going to be moving a fair bit, so I don't see why they would be sort of sat feeding loads in one place. And hopefully I can just sort of slip one up over a little bit of bait, and then through the night I'll then get the spawns out early, or sort of before we lose light, and then hopefully that'll just sit there for the rest of the night and the day and trip them up. But yeah, it's unfortunate really that it's gone that way at the moment, but we've not had much luck, but I think we can definitely sort of turn it around. I think there's been 6 fish out now, or 7 fish out now on the lake, so they are coming out slowly, but I think they're sort of coming out in the cooler times, late at night, early in the morning, that sort of thing. So we'll have to wait and see. I can only sort of prepare for the morning and try and get my trap set before that happens. But yeah, I won't bore you anymore, but we'll get the rods back out, and I can only do what I can, but the conditions are getting worse, as in it's getting hotter, so I think they're going to be less likely to feed and closer to spawning, unfortunately. But we've got to do what we can. They're obviously still feeding at the moment because the lads are catching, so hopefully we can follow suit. So taking a look at the bait that we're using, firstly you can see how glugged it is and how wet and just full of everything. So firstly we sprinkle with, you can hear my alarms going off there, sprinkle with some tigers, as you can see here, just standard tigers, nothing too special about them, just to give that more of a natural implement, as I know that there are quite a lot of naturals in this lake, so it's nice to sort of add that in there. And then we have the FSB 16mm boilies, really nice and soft, easily digestible. The carp absolutely love them. And then a couple of Maple D boilies in there as well, and then the juice and the glug and stuff like that, that is the FSB food, liquid food, and some lake water. I like to use lake water because sometimes if you just use normal water, it's going to have chemicals in it of some form, because obviously it has to have chemicals in it and stuff. So if you use lake water, you're avoiding any chemicals, and you're also avoiding getting adding the thing of, you might get some naturals in there when you're scooping it up in your bucket. You might end up getting a few naturals in there as well, which will only add and help, and certainly won't hinder. So that is the bait that we're using. As you know, on the channel usually I use a lot more particle, but at the moment I've seen a lot, and I mean a lot, of the roach around. So after seeing so many roach around, I am quite reluctant to be using particle, as I've put a couple of solid bags out now with just small pellet in, and they've pretty much been munched well and truly by the roach. That's what you can hear in the background sometimes when my alarms are beeping, is the alarms going off, because the roach are all around the lines and stuff, and around the hook baits. So I'm trying my best to avoid smaller baits. So I will have to, there we go again, so I will have to get my spawns out, get some bait out, and hopefully that'll bring in the bigger fish rather than the smaller fish, and hopefully stop all these liners and stuff like that. But the heat's slowly dying down now, so I'm hoping that they might get their heads back down, get off the top layers, and get down. I didn't end up putting a zig on after today. I just genuinely felt like they'd be on the bottom. There's been no more fish out, I don't think, since the last time I spoke, so we sort of, I know I'm not doing anything wrong, if that makes sense. They're either not feeding or they're in the upper layers, and if they are, then that's how it is. But I'm more confident on the deck, as what I've found so far has been on the deck. So I'm hoping that, you know, they'll get their heads down sooner rather than later. But yeah, so that's the bait that we've got, and yeah, again, spar baits, link in the description. Make sure you check them out. the bait quality is incredible. It's so soft, it's so easily digestible and stuff like that. And they do hard hookers as well, so if you fish on the bottom you can use hard hookers, so they're basically just hardened versions, which will obviously help them stay on the hook, on the hair longer or whatever, along with wafters, pop-ups and loads of other things. So definitely go and check them out. But I'm going to bring all 3 rods in now and bait them up for the night, or rebait them and bait the spots, because it's around 5 p.m. now, and I'm literally going to put them out and leave it out all night then, and that'll be pretty much the last time I cast for the rest of the session, unless obviously I either catch one or I have to bring it in for whatever reason. But I'm not going to be recasting or bringing it in for no reason whatsoever. So yeah, I will see you when I do. But it could be with a fish, it could be to complain that I've not caught yet, but either way, I'll see you shortly. So we've got the rig here, starting off really simple. Little chod section here, probably 1.5 inches high, that'll sit like that in the water. And even more simple, literally ring swivel here at the bottom into some gravel skin link about 6 inches, 7 inches. And that is literally it. A little bit of putty on there to keep that bit pinned down, and that is all we've got. A little bait screw on the end. As I prefer bait screws when I'm not casting absolutely miles, and as I'm only sort of 12 wraps, 13 wraps, then it's really not necessary for me to be using anything else but a bait screw, in my opinion. So yeah, that's what we're working with. That is all we have. Just a very simple rig there, and it does absolute wonders on a weedy venue like this. This will just sit just off the surface like that, just enough that if there's some low-lying weed around here, it's going to sit just above it all and be presented absolutely perfectly.
Go for gold. Watch them pike, don't think they're going to f***ing nibble on a maggot. Could have done that earlier when my spawn was out there.
You could have done it for your spawn as well.
That.
Can you stand up there? I'm not even going to try it.
You probably should be able to.
Weed all sort of wrapping around my ankles and which is disconcerting. How was the Horcott social?
Brilliant. Horcott Social 2023.
This is your Baywatch shot.
So, I did just film this whole part, and unfortunately, the microphone wasn't turned on, which isn't great. But yeah, as you can see, still fishless. What is the time? It's about 10 o'clock, so we've got about 4 hours left. I'm not going to be using all 4 hours. I'm going to start packing up now, head home, and have a nice bath, because it's been a hot weekend, and it's always nice to get back in your own bed, however many nights you've been on the bank, whether it's 1, 5, it's just nice to be back in your own bed. So can't wait for that. But yeah, I think they're quite close to spawning. The guy in the swim next to me had his deeper out yesterday. As you saw, I'm retrieving it by swimming, and the water temperature set around 18 degrees on the top, so it's quite close, if I'm honest, to the spawning. And it's another hot day today, so I really can't imagine that they're that far away now from spawning, which it is what it is really. But there were no fish out last night whatsoever. But I will, throughout this video, show you all the fish that have been caught in some way or another. There will be some overlaid on this right now, just so you can see the fish that have been caught, because congrats to the lads, top angling to the 4 or 5 lads that have managed to net. Really good angling, so well done to those guys. And pretty much, yeah, thank you to Spar Baits for putting this social on and providing us with a quality bait all the time. Again, if you've not used it before, if you've not checked out, make sure you go in the description and check out their Facebook, Instagram, website, whatever, because the bait is quality, it's great price, and the service and the guys that run it are absolutely exceptional. So they'll sort you out, and yeah, you'll have a really good experience with it. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. I'm just going to sit behind the rods for another 10 minutes now. I'm going to start packing my bivvy away and whatever, and then just when I get to the rods, I'll pack them away. And think I'll call it a day. So although it's been another blank for the channel, as always, we have had fun. There's been a lot of stuff gone wrong on this point between the 4 of us. I've snapped my clip off my my spod reel, so that's gone. I snapped Will's rod, so I'm sorry, Will, if you're watching this. I'm really sorry about breaking your rod. And one of the other guys got bird poo on him everywhere and cracked a spom off. And Dan to my left, or to my right, but my left now, has lost a deeper, so we had to go in for his deeper. So we've had nothing but issues on this point, but hopefully one of the lads catch. But again, congrats to the lads that have caught. But yeah, this is probably going to be the last you see of me for this video, because I need to just get packed away and go, unless I catch something. Of course, if I catch something, then that's a completely different story. But yeah, I will probably see you in the next video, which I'm not sure where that'll be yet, but we'll soon find out. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Really do appreciate it. Remember, go and check out my socials as well, but go and check out Spar Baits, incredible bait, and yeah, they'll sort you out with a good quality bait, and it'll get you some fish on the bank. But I appreciate you watching, and yeah, bye for now.